Anyway, it's a skit about a person who comes to a mental institution, and you'll see what's going to happen now. Come in.
Dr. Cobby?
That's the name on the door, isn't it?
I thought you were a lady.
Do you want me to be a lady?
No, that's not what I meant. Could I speak with you?
Ever since you opened that door, you have been speaking to me.
I mean, could I speak with you a bit more besides what I just said?
Well, come on in. That hallway is drafty, and this building is old. It takes a fortune to heat up, and holding that door won't help.
Sorry. My name is Bob White. I applied for an intern position over here. I had faxed you my resume earlier. Did you receive?
Yes, that's what I'm looking at right now.
My last position was at St. Christopher's. I worked there for 2 years.
Yes, for 2 years until they reduced staff due to budget cutbacks. I can see that all right here. No need to repeat it. Okay. Your resume looks fine, but it just doesn't tell me what I want to know. I believe, though, the old institution, St. Christopher's, was founded as a religious institution. And the recent laws that removed the financial aid had to do with your job cut.
Yes, sir, it did. Which is kind of ironic, considering the fact that it was the first established in the city, and that even the first asylums were founded by the Christians themselves.
You see, that's the mentality right here. And that's what I'm fighting for years. The idea that a person's mental illness can be helped by those that have a problem accepting reality, it's laughable.
I beg your pardon, what does that mean?
Are you being interviewed here, or am I?
You, no, me, sir.
And in this interview, I ask the questions, not you, right?
Well, yes, but you see...
Thank you, but I would not necessarily hold the clinic's philosophies against you. You just work there. But I would like to ask you a few more questions to see if you are compatible with our institution, Happydale Mental Health Institutions, their charters and tenets.
Of course, doctor.
Okay. Now then, your credentials are quite in order. Impressive, in fact.
Thank you.
But I would like to ask you a little more about your approach to treating patients with a weak grasp of reality. Do you concur?
Absolutely.
Do you believe in talking animals?
Say what?
Talking animals, not parrots. Say, for instance, a donkey could speak and carry out intelligent conversation. Do you believe in that?
That's ridiculous. I don't believe any such thing.
Well, in the Bible it says that Balaam's donkey spoke to him. Was it a lie then?
Okay, I'd forgotten about that. Sorry.
So you do believe a donkey can speak?
Well, yes. You know, with God, all things are possible.
Can you please answer the question, yes or no?
I guess the answer would have to be yes.
I see. How about a man being born to a mother with no father? Is that reality?
Okay, I see where this is going, doctor. And to make it right, I believe that Jesus had no earthly father. I'm here to discuss about my practice, not beliefs.
I don't think they can be separated. For example, do you think a man can fly with no artificial or visible means of support, that is?
Well, no.
I take it then you don't believe in the second coming then. Just, we don't even want to discuss about what the scripture says about believers rising to meet Jesus in the clouds.
Well, I actually believe that.
You see, how could you effectively convince a man of the simple truth that he cannot lie when you yourself believe that one day you could fly and meet Jesus in the clouds? Your own ground is shaky here.
Well, excuse me, doctor. My belief foundation is as solid as a rock. which is Christ.
Okay, you don't have to get intimidated. Please have your seat. I can see you need some convincing. I have a quote here from a respected speaker and writer that I would like to read to you. I quote, "A born-again Christian is an adult who, when looking over Christian tenets and deliberately as a mature adult, reaffirms, reasserts, rededicates himself to the absolute insane idea of Christianity. I think all of those people, without exception, are a little sick. They have a portion of their brain split aside in which they carry on their irrational ideas and fantasies and cannot be wholly intellectual people." End quote. I wholeheartedly agree to this statement, and you would do well to consider it.
Well, who wrote that? Who was the author?
One Dr. O'Hare.
You wouldn't be referring to the late American atheist Madeleine Murray O'Hare, would you?
Yes.
I rest my case.
I suppose you deny the facts of evolution in favor of your creation myth.
Excuse me, sir. But the fact is, there is no proof that evolution is more than a flawed and faulty theory. Even Darwin himself admitted that. You know, there is no fossils found between species. So, creation is one suitable answer that fits everything. And yes, I reject evolution and believe that God created the world just like He said.
I see. Subject denies common sense and accepted scientific thought. So, what do you believe about Noah's flood?
Happened. Rained 40 days and nights.
All lives saved on one ark?
As represented by two animals, yes.
The Red Sea parted?
Right down the middle.
The resurrection of Christ?
He is alive. I just spoke to him this morning.
You, sir, are a fool. A complete, utter, undeniable fool. There is no God.
That might be your assessment of me, sir, but is God's assessment of you. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
How dare you?
Wait. In the Bible it also says in Romans, the men professing themselves to be wise have become fools, and that they change the truth of God into a lie and worship the creature more than the creator. I think that's a fair description of evolution.
You are crazy. These are all lies. Lies to keep man from believing in himself and achieving greatness. You're mad. I put it to you, therefore, that you are not only unfit to work here, but you are unfit to treat any patient with a mental disorder. Because you yourself are severely mentally unbalanced. And this interview has become an evaluation. And it's my recommendation that you be admitted in this institution with immediate effect. Because you are mad.
You're nuts. I'm getting out of here.
Not so fast. Please send some nurses and orderlies to my office quickly to administer a sedative to a new admission.
What? You can't do that. You need a court order and a court-appointed psychiatrist and a signed affidavit from a relative to admit me.
I am the administrator and I am the head doctor here. And here I am God. What I say goes, and you are a dangerously psychotic menace to society. I can have you held until a court injunction can be obtained. You will never see the light of day again.
It's not possible.
Yes, come, catch him.
There he is, run quickly.
You guys are crazy. You can't catch me.
Catch him. No! Galilean, thou hast triumphed!
Take him back to his room. Elizabeth, and tell security I want a meeting in 1 hour to discuss this. Right now. Who are you?
I'm Bob White. I had an appointment with Dr. Corby for an interview. What's going on here?
I'm Dr. Corby, the administrator here. I remember the appointment, but sorry I was delayed. Please take a seat.
Thank you. But, who was that man who went out of this place right now?
He was a patient, named by Mr. Jones, and he was allowed some duties here, as the role of assistant janitor being one. It seems he had a setback. I take it that he impersonated me and tried to convince you that you were crazy.
That's exactly what happened. But what's his problem?
He was an archaeologist once, a good one too. He was totally obsessed in proving the Bible false, and his failure to find proof drove him mad. More and more discoveries that corroborated the Bible began to surface, and several of his own discoveries supported the Old Testament that outraged him. The evidence that for the resurrection alone was enough to send him over the edge. And now that's absolutely, mania. So, and after that, what he did was, all that he could do is just rage against those that he thinks as universal conspiracy, and which in this case, it seems that he's convinced that the God whom he doesn't believe in is out to get him. Now that's crazy.
Whew. He had me going on there for a while, Doctor.
Tell you what, Mr. White, it's about noon. Why don't you go to the cafeteria and talk over lunch, and then I'll give you the grand tour.
Sure, Doctor. But one more thing, Dr. Corby.
What's that?
Do you think that a donkey can talk?
Of course. I think we've just seen a classic example of that happening right here today.
You're right.